You see that? What I see in these tracks is that it is possible that your track is the part where the withering of the grass has occurred. Another man is here, he has his withering may not start here. Yours may be here, his may be there. Or even earlier than yours. And a whole lot of things. What I see here is that in your track, there could be, there are decorations. God has done that. God has decorated each and every man's life track with the stuff by his own volition and discretion. He has done that. You may be walking, you may have mattresses or foams, let's say foam, somewhere along the line in your track. You may have thorns, you may have waters or muddy
muddy ground,
grounds, etc., etc., etc. And this life track I'm talking about right now is the number of years. It is determined by God. Because it is appointed, that is what Paul said, it's appointed for man once to die. You see? So when you have been born today, it is appointed for you to die someday. And that day is well known by God. God knows it. You think he doesn't know? He knows when you will die. God knows when I will die. You see? And so if it is 70 years, if it is 50 years, if it is 20 years, it doesn't matter by which means I die.
That's right.
Yes. The years set for you is the track you are treading. And when you get to the end of that road, you go. You don't necessarily need to get sick when you get there. You don't need to be killed by somebody or whatever, anything. You may be killed by somebody, you may be sick, you may fall sick, you may get an accident. Anything.
Your time is just up.
Yes, your time is just up. So for me, I don't believe in accidents. Accidents happen. Accidents happen, but it is for a cause, it is for a purpose.
It's all in the plan.
It is in the plan
of God.
It is in the plan of God, in the man's life.
Yeah.
In that, those who are in that car, that accident is in their plan. Through this accident which is in their plan, it is in some of them, with some of them it is in their plan to die as a result. That is the end of their road. The age has ended for them. Why is it that a serious accident, even plane crash, everybody dies and one person survives?
Oh my goodness.
Why do you think?
That's right. That's right.
A plane can hit from thousands of meters above the earth.
Everybody will die, but
one person will be left. It has happened.
So it means his time was just not.
It's not up.
Not up.
He hasn't come to the end of the road.
Revelation. Powerful.
All of them, all those who died, have come to the end of the road, and that is the course through which they will go. That day, they cannot survive again. They have no other. You are moving to this place, and you have come to this wall. This is my track. I've come to this wall. Where am I going again? I have to fall back.
Yeah. So you are. There's no way you can go through.
No, I am here. We are walking here. This is me. This is another person. We are going. He's gone, but he can continue, but I cannot continue.
You hit the wall, and then that was your
That's
time.
my end. This is life.
I like your statement with what you said about we shouldn't say we are growing.
We are growing, yeah.
So we should say we are dying.
Yeah, because as you are walking,
immediately when you are born,
Yeah.
your death road
has started. That is on which you are walking.
began.
It has begun. You are walking. If it is 90 years, the first day has passed. The next morning is no longer 90 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
It's no longer 90 years. Calculate it in hours, calculate it in days.
And if people get to understand this, then they will stop this kind of as if they are living forever.
Forever.
And they will take things serious.
Yes.
Serious immediately.
Yes.
From today on till the end. Whether they are young or they are grown, they will
That
take,
is it.
because you don't know whether you will die with 10,
Yes.
you don't know whether you will
You
die
don't
with
know
22.
whether you have 22 or you have 10 or you.
Nah.
Why do babies die? Why do babies die? Why do young guys, young girls, and why do some people grow so old? 100 and over. Why? Do they have special protection for themselves or what? No. No. People die young here in Europe, where we have all the medical, heavyweights, technologies, etc., etc. But people still die young, don't they?
They do.
Yes.
They do. No matter even rich people, you can have money but cancer easily kills rich people.
Yes. It is in that person's track
Yeah.
to go by that means. Somebody who commits suicide, it is his time. He must die. Yes, he must die. But what makes the difference? The difference is acknowledging, like what I know now, that it is God who knows the end of every man, and it is God who knows what He has decorated in every man's path.
But one question: do you think something like suicide, that one you said it's that one God has determined his lifetime and stuff? Do you think if the person would not have committed, let me say, suicide, would he at that moment maybe die by another means?
If the person had not committed the suicide,
if he would not have done it, do you think then there would be at that time? You said it's his end. It's
what will prevent the person from committing suicide? So you ask that person, what? The person has committed the suicide. He has finished it. That is where you should look at it. So there is nothing, no way to say that if he had not done it.
If there is no if about it anymore, because he has done it and
it's gone.
Even though, let me say, in the eyes of the Lord, it's not right, but yet still it has happened.
Yes, it has happened. It has happened. No, killing somebody is not right.
But it has still happened.
It has happened.
So there is no if and there is no question about it. It just happened.
It means that the person has come to the end of his road and he must go by any means. You understand it? He must go by any means. So Jesus said, it is appointed that this happens, that the Son of Man must die. But through the woe unto the person through whom?
Yeah, okay.
You understand it?
Yeah. The appointment has already been made.
It is made.
But now it's just up to the kind of or the way.
Yeah, the way
to happen.
So there must be a trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, and I believe that's why Jesus said when he was praying in the night that if possible, let this cup pass by me. Like all this pain that he was going through, if possible, he would have maybe selected, let me say, a bit nicer way of dying, but still he knows the time has come.
All those pains were in his path.
In his path, yeah.
He had to walk through. He had to walk through and finally die. You see? And somebody had to, pull the trigger for him to die.
Yeah.
And it was in the things, in the ways, and in the track of Judas to also betray Christ. It was in the track of Judas to betray Christ. It was there. But how can man avoid what God has determined? That is why prayer. That is the reason for prayer.
My God! Now we are going to another dimension of this. Wow! So the only way we can avoid let me say, unnecessary things in our life,
in your life,
and unnecessary suffering in our lives. Apart from prayer, everything is just determined.
It's determined.
But once we get in contact with the Lord, He can change something about
it. It is He who did it.
Thank you.
Who alone can change it?
He who did it is the only one that can change it through the prayer of you to Him.
Yes, by supplicating, by beseeching Him. You see? So because that is why Jesus said, pray unceasingly. Pray without ceasing. Because why? You don't know what is ahead of you.
Yeah.
So you are praying. As you pray to the Lord who knows. And say, Father, if there is anything ahead of me which is unpleasant in my way, please do something about it. You see?
Yeah, it remembers me about King. Who was that?
King Hezekiah.
King Hezekiah.
That's right. Was about to die.
That's right. His road has just come to an end according to the plan of God.
Yes.
And he still challenged him through prayer.
With prayer, and God said, I have added 15 years.
God
moved the wall of death. He moved the wall of death ahead of him. 15 years. And he lived. He survived.
That's right.
This is what pastors should preach.
This is what men of God should preach. So that people will have the kind of let me say, understanding that we don't have time.
Yes. We don't have time. We don't have time.
Because you don't actually, even if you have time, you don't even know that you have it.
Yes.
Because tomorrow your time could end.
It could end. It could end. As soon as every man is born, he begins to die. You begin to die, whether you like it or not. You begin to die. We are dying. We are not growing. We are dying. We are walking towards the grave. Unknown where the end is. Nobody knows where his grave is. You don't know. The end of the track, you don't know. And all these sufferings we are going through are decorations in our paths.
Yeah.
You see? And that is what we try to twist. Sometimes we try to, but in my imagination, in my senses, in my subconscious, I see all those things as predetermined kind of things. People will meander, try to meander, try to avoid certain things by their own. So Jesus, it says, the Bible says, not by might. Isaiah, it says, not by might, not by power of any man, but by the Spirit of the Lord. You understand? If something is not going right and you try to, use your mind, your intellect, your wisdom to avoid it, you are playing around a portion you could have, or a mountain you could have gradually, faced and endured and gotten over, and then you can move on further. You see? But as you try to do certain things, sometimes that is also appointed, that the person should go around the problem, go around the problem, and finally face it. You see?
So whatever we are trying is actually, let me say, a result of our ignorance to what is actually
there
determined.
What is actually there for you to face,
and the only
to pray for avoidance.
The only way we can avoid certain things in our ways is, like you said wonderfully, I like that statement as well, when you said the one that determined it or the one that did it is the only one that can change it. So through prayer you can only wow.
That is so. If every person will get to know this, you get more patience.
Yeah, you get more patience about certain things.
You look at so many things, you face so many things, and sometimes the pressure from the society tries to bully you here and there. Pressure from society tries to bully you here and there, and you may even forget about what you are trying to deal with. But we must always be conscious of, try to be conscious of the things of life. By saying that it's not our will, not our mind, not by our power, but by the power of the Lord. And God is not a wicked, that kind of authoritarian, wicked entity. You know, yeah. God is love. He's so loving, and what He has done, that's why nobody can judge anybody. People judge, and they judge. I cannot judge anybody, no matter what the person is doing, because I see in the lives of the patriarchs. When you look at the lives of the patriarchs,
the life of what? I didn't get it.
The patriarchs.
Patriarchs.
Yeah,
Okay.
the patriarchs. The men of old, the patriarchs. We're talking about the descendants of Jacob and.
The descendants of Jacob. Okay,
Yeah.
like those people in the Old Testament.
Yeah, in the Old Testament.
That God used actually.
That God used actually in the times of Jesus. You know, the apostles. How many are they?
Yeah.
And each and everyone had his own life and
Had his
style.
own story. Yeah.
His own story.
Coming from somewhere which
You
has
understand?
nothing to do with the Lord actually.
You understand?
Yeah. And the one is called, let me say, younger. The other one is called older. But yet they still came from somewhere.
The Bible says, Jacob I loved, Esau I hated. People in the womb who knew no sin, they hadn't even come to the earth, you know, in the first place to experience anything. And God says, Esau I hated, Jacob I loved. These people's lives have been planned, have been determined. You understand? Yeah,
I do.
Their lives have been planned, their lives have been determined. Their destinies have been determined.
So if, let me say, so you think maybe if he would have, let me say, prayed to God to change something about it, God would have now changed from hated
and
to
and God
to
favored
love.
him. If your prayer, you know, is accepted, that means favor. You've received favor. Yes, you receive it, and then you change it right away.
Change it. You would change
it right away.
Change it. Wow.
That's why it's because I always take a cue from this King Ezekiel example that we use. You know, the man did something for God.
Yeah.
He did something good. You know, so at the point of death, he said, God, no, I did this, I did that. He challenged God of all the things he had done. Fine. God is, you know, omnipotent. He could have said, no, I don't care. You see? Because I don't care. Yeah, but that is a credit. Maybe that might have helped him. Yeah, that might have helped this king to win the favor of God. You see? Yeah. But we cannot also say for sure that it was a valuable thing so much to, you know, sort of influence the decision of God.
One question is still left. The way you are saying this, now we have talked about people that are predestined and they can change their destiny to be positive through prayer. But at the same time, we also have one example in the Bible. Do you think, for example, Moses, his disobedience to God also shortened his life?
His life was not shortened. Yeah, but
so you think Moses actually okay, explain that your statement to me, the statement that you said about Moses.
I said Moses is from my point of view, from where I was, I started this, and I would say that Moses' time was not shortened. Yeah, he had come to the end of the road as well. Because God was in his life. And he had done so much, though God promised that he will lead the people to the promised land, he didn't say that he will get there.
He never said, Moses, you and my people, I'm bringing you
will go to the promised land.
But he said, lead my people.
Yeah, you are leading my people to the promised land. You will lead the people to the promised land. The people lead the people to the promised land.
So it
is possible that you will not get there, but the people will get there.
Okay, so it means actually if we that's what I like about the Bible so much. Many people do certain mistakes because they don't read the Bible like, let me say, correct. They just interpret some things into things that are actually not written. So it means the Bible actually said, lead my people to the promised land. Yeah. When he called him, he said he should go to Egypt and tell the Pharaoh, let my people go. That's right.
Let my people go. So you are leading my people to the promised land. Means my people are going to the promised land.
Yeah.
Lead them. When the time comes for you to stop, you will stop. But God, will get somebody to continue with them. You understand it?
That's right, yeah.
Because they are going to the promised land. And the people, imagine, he said the people are going to the promised land. But not even all of them got there. Yes. Has God lied? God didn't lie. He didn't lie there. You see? But people still got there.
Yeah.
Some people still got there. You see? So in the tracks of all these people, it was not determined or predetermined that all of them will get to the promised land. Because each and every one of them had a life track to tread before God decided to take them out of Egypt. You see? And it's not because he has taken you out of Egypt that he's going to lengthen your life, your life track. Just because he has taken you from Egypt and he says you are going to the promised land. If the promised land is 1 million years, before you get to the, if you need 1 million years before you get to the promised land,
you are definitely not going to make it. Let me say, the first generation is not going to make it, if that would be the case. But yet, still the people of God would make it, because the other generation also belongs to the people of God.
They are my people. They are my people. They are the people of God. It doesn't matter who gets there. They are my people. The people are going. On the way they give back. They started with little ones. And on the way they give more babes and more babes. If it is 40 years, if it is 50 years, if it were 100 years. Because you were born somewhere, and before you were born, your days had been determined. Your days had been determined. So if your day had already been shortened while there, it's not because God has taken you from the place, so he's obliged to, give you more, as if you have just started. No. You see, you can only gain that if you had the knowledge that you have a life track, and that it is only God who can lengthen it, who can increase it, who can, by prayer.
By prayer.
Prayer is very important. I believe in prayer so much.
I
believe in prayer.
I mean, that's why the Bible also says we should never cease praying, because that one will, let me say, remove the debris in your path can be changed into foams and comfortable grass and smooth grounds here and there. Coiled and crooked ways could be straightened. Become straight. Straight paths here and there. So people should get to know. So I was, talking about this Pastor Annabelle's tragedy. Yeah.
You see, these are two girls. The family loves so much. I know these girls.
You know them personally?
Yeah, I knew them personally because I was in Holland, and one of his trips, to preach in this Holy Ghost revival sort of meeting. He came with a whole family, so beautiful. You see. But both girls died the same day in one accident. And the question was whether the man had sinned or what. A great man of God like this.
Or many people also speculate that now the demons has got him.
Yeah.
And all this kind of stuff.
No, it's nothing of it. Nothing of it. It's the fate of the girls themselves. It's just unfortunate that they came in the way of a man of God.
Yeah.
That's how you can interpret it. It's just unfortunate that they came in the way of the man of God. And on the other hand, it is also in the path of the man of God to play host to these unfortunate girls.
And what I like about your statement right now, even if we now study or take our time to study people like in India or people in China, I mean, their family members also, like, they just die, but just because, let me say, they are not publicly known, we don't really get to know it. So it's this one, like you are saying, it's just unfortunate that it just happened to a man of God that was also known, so it got public, and so people will start speculating all sort of stuff about, but it's like you said, the fate of
the fate of both of them.
And the road can end at any time, whether it is a child of the man of God, or it is the man of God himself, or it is who else in China,
whoever, anywhere,
like the tsunami, it killed so many people, and we don't even have details about them. I mean, it can,
exactly. The road has ended. It has ended. It has ended.
So we shouldn't blame God about
blame God, to blame people, to tag people, with a whole lot of interpretations. Try to
like the man of God has sinned and those things.
Read interpretations into so many things and try to why the why. If you want why, if you want answers to why, then go to God.
Ask God, because it is Him that actually knows about it, and it has just the time is just there.
Until somebody proves to me that there is no mighty hand, power, such a power, I will stick to my belief, this kind of belief. Unless somebody tells me there is no God, there is no higher entity who has a hand in creation and everything. All this happiness, His spirit. And the things in the spirit are more powerful than the things in the physical that we see. Yes. Spiritual things are more powerful. More powerful.
Actually,
because they are eternal. They are eternal.
They are
eternal. We are just ephemeral, transcend. Running waters. We are going away. You see? But if somebody has, survived the troubles of the earth or whatever planet for thousands and millions and billions of years, can you compare yourself to him? No.
No, you can't. No.
You cannot. In the human frame, physically speaking, how long a person, lives doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That one is
so. There is an adage. We say that you don't need to be a Methuselah to know history.
Okay.
That is physically speaking.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a Methuselah. Methuselah was 969 years.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the greatest historian.
That's true.
He wasn't the greatest historian. Yeah. That is physically speaking. But when we go into the things of the spirit, ethereal and metaphysically, spirits have lived and they continue to live.
Yep.
So they have experiences that no man can
No man has
compare,
ever.
ever and can ever, reach.
That's why we also say he's the same God yesterday, today,
Yes.
and forever, actually. Because God is
those,
spirit.
those two things are quite different.
Mm-hmm.
So if man will understand things like that, we will always be careful the way we do things.
Be patient enough.
Be patient enough. We'll submit more.
Submit more, yeah. Take more time for prayer,
For prayer.
so that our path will be straightened.
Yes.
And at the same time, we will also have peace about certain things. We will not trouble and worry ourselves about so many things that actually we can't, like you said, we can't do anything about it.
You don't have any control over it. It's beyond your control. Beyond your control.
Wow. That is very, very, very true.
So many things are beyond that.
That is very, 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 very true. Because like I said, you can be the greatest millionaire. You can, like, people are trying to buy their youth back with painting their faces, with trying to, taking all medicines up and down, but yet still they end up in dying with cancer. They end up in I mean, they can't bring, or they can't stop the fact that they are dying, that they are going.
Yes, you are going.
You are going. No matter how much money you have, no matter, that one is still in. I mean, God has given man so much creativity and stuff, but that one thing He has still kept in His own hands. The fact that you can't change something about your time running up.
Yeah. It's hidden. It's hidden from man. It's hidden from any man. Where this road is ending, nobody knows.
But it will definitely
end. And it is somewhere. It is somewhere. So most of the time I sit quietly and I ask myself, where is my road going to end? Where? When? I ask all those questions. And say, God help me.
Yeah, and that is very important. God help me, so that we can at least, before our road ends, we have left the mark for God.
For God.
So that
you have at least pleased God.
Please God.
Please God. So some in Psalms, is it Psalm 90, 91?
Some I can check.
Help me to number my days. Yeah, the psalmist said, help me to number my days, that I may have a heart of wisdom.
Yeah.
You understand? He knew that he has a limited number of days to cover. You understand?
Yeah.
That's a limited number of days to cover. He said, Lord, help me to number these days, so that I will have a heart of wisdom. Yeah, it is there. Psalm 91. I believe. Oh.
Wow.
This thing I wanted to put on paper and to write this.
I mean, it's still not too late. We can see that the time is yet right now not up, so you still have still have the opportunity to put it down, because I believe that this thing can help a lot of people to come to realize that there is not much time, so they have to start doing something to glorify God, actually. And also for the people that haven't received Jesus the Savior right now, that they will also know that no matter how young they are and how things look like and how good things, how enjoyable life is, yet there is still going to be an end of the road, and they can't know whether it's tomorrow, know whether it's this evening, so they can't also say, oh, we will take Jesus tomorrow, but they have, if there is anything they want to do, they have to take an immediate step so that it will not be too late if the end is tomorrow. If the end is tomorrow.
The end is tomorrow.
Wow. Wonderful. I'm so blessed, Elder. Wow. God bless you.